I wondered if you wanted what you owned. Your magic ladders in the sky tie you to the place where angels fight in the circle of fire. Circle of fire. A madness, envy and desire ring you with an unforgiving fire. You love them with a burning soul. By the time he sold the ashes, they were cold. In the circle of fire. Circle of fire. Fingers crying for you, sleeping on your doorstep for the proof. We love ghosts who want to see through the blood and bones that hide us from the truth. In the circle of fire. Circle of city from the skies, watching children swallowing your lies. It breaks you, you will never fall. You've learned that love is greater than it all. In the circle of fire. Circle of fire. In the circle of fire.
They're scared now. Oh, they're not scared of you. They scared of what you represent to them.
Hey, man. All we represent to them, man, is somebody who needs a haircut.
Oh, no. What you represent to them is freedom.
What the hell's wrong with freedom, man? That's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what it's all about, all right. But talking about it and being it, that's two different things. I mean, it's real hard to be free when you are bought and sold in the marketplace. Of course, don't ever tell anybody that they're not free, because then they're going to get real busy killing and maiming to prove to you that they are. Oh, yeah, they're going to talk to you and talk to you and talk to you about individual freedom. But they see a free individual, it's going to scare them.
No, well, don't make them running scared.
No, it makes them dangerous.
The mothership has landed. Pirate Radio. Welcome to the jungle.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the broken down, low-rent, sleazy, double greasy Pirate Radio Nut Hut Studios, it's time for the very first ever Southern...
Attention. Attention, please. You.
Right now, it's 12 o'clock, Americans. Another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines,
clocks run out. Time's up. Wind is blowing cold and dark. On the road and no way out. A broken house, a smoking gun. On the run. On the run.
Like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking. It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking. like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
All right, now listen to me. Remember your brakes and switches. Get ready to flare it out. Coming in too fast. Watch your speed. He's coming right at us!
Well, it looks like Rio is in Texas. And Epic Journeyman is on the Big Island. But where they are, I do not know.
Can I get you something?
At this point. So Rio was doing a graduation in Texas, and so he's supposed to get back to me when he got back from the house, which he hasn't done. So
You have a one again.
so so tell you what I'm gonna do for right now. For the time being, I'm gonna play some music. I'll show you some visuals. Hold on. It's Hollywood Boulevard. Cruise night. I'll show you some visuals. I'll play some music. I'll see what's going on and reach out to these guys and see what's happening. Alright? Alright. Well, let's get the ball rolling, I suppose. Yeah. Hang on a second here.
Tonight we ride, right or wrong. Tonight we sail on a radio song. Rescue me.
It's like herding cats, man.
Should I go down if I stay too long in trouble town? Oh, yeah. You wreck me, baby. Yeah, you break me in two. But you move me, honey. Yes, you do. Now and again, I get the feeling
Well, looks like it's me here, all by myself, by my lonesome George of the jungle. Looking for the man with the yellow hat. So, the new network appears to be coming online it will be July 4th this year, coming up July 4th. New network. Bunch of big people are going to be on there. Tomorrow, yeah, they'll be waking big tomorrow. We'll see what happens tonight, though. Tomorrow may not come. You know, you never know. In the meantime, though, yeah. No, well, it's, I'll tell you what. Hang on a second. Hang on. It's Stevie Nicks' birthday today. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. And, you know. Here, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Hold on. I'm going to play the original Stevie Nicks video for this song. And take a look at her when she was in her prime. Take a look at her in this video. Take a look at Miss Stevie Nicks. Here we go.
No one looked. I walked by. Just an invitation would have been just fine. Said no to him again and again. First he took my heart, then he ran. No one knows how I feel, what I say, unless you read between my lines. One man walked away from me. First he took my hand, take me home. Stand back, in the middle of my room. I did not hear from you. It's alright, be standing in a line, be standing in a line. I would cry. La 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 la. Do not turn away, my friend, like a willow I can't bear. No man called my name, no man came. So I walked on down away from you. Baby, your attention was more than you could do. One man did not know. He asked me for my
You see this costume she has on right here? No, I saw her with Carlos Santana at Shoreline Amphitheater. It was right after Bill Graham died. And they had these giant fucking incense burners on either side of the stage. And they were burning like frankincense and myrrh and stuff, and it was just floating through the crowd. And when Stevie Nicks, because she's wearing that costume right there, it's white. So every time the lighting scene would change, the colors of that outfit would change. So like when they hit her with like red lights and shit, it would appear that she was wearing a red outfit like that. And it was a kick-ass show. And so Stevie Nicks.
Took my love, I took it down. Climbed a mountain and I turned around. And I saw my reflection in snow-covered hills till a landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart?
I can't keep playing this, man. I gotta stop right now. Because otherwise this whole video is gonna be banned worldwide. What's happening, Natalie? Hey, Holly. What's up, everybody? What's up, Amber? You guys, good to see you. So it looks like I'm here all by my lonesome. Rio is in Texas, and Epic Journeyman is on the Big Island. And so his internet is sketchy sometimes, and the Koki frogs are loud. So, you know. So far, so good. I didn't get any hassle from YouTube. So maybe because I was, who the hell knows, man. You know, I'll just come here tomorrow morning, and all of a sudden, that video won't be there. But, let me see here. We got about 2 weeks before we go back over to the main channel. Yeah, the main channel. The 15th of June is when we can go back over there, and then the new network starts July 4th. So we haven't decided exactly what it is for sure as far as what days we're going to be doing the show. It depends. It depends on what we do. So, you know, I'm putting it together and seeing what's happening. I don't know. I mean, We'll see. I mean, honestly, to be honestly, I don't really, and I'm telling you guys this, because you guys are my friends. I'm telling you, I don't see a bunch of people sitting around listening to fucking internet radio in the next couple of months. It's 2 months from now, shit is gonna look a whole lot different than it looks right now. I'm telling you right now. I mean, I read some USDA reports today about some shit, and I mean, eggs are gonna be $12 a dozen. It's gonna be $1 an egg for those shitty eggs. So they said that they saw this food shortage thing in 3 phases or whatever. So phase 1 is already passed, phase 2 is passed. Now we're coming into phase 3, and phase 3 says that the food prices are gonna go twice as high as they already have, and there's gonna be fucking shortages. All right. So it's it's a serious situation, but I can't sit up here and talk about this shit every fucking night. You know what I mean? At some point, I like to come up here and have fun and shit, but at some point I start feeling like I'm fiddling around while Rome burns or whatever. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, I'm wrong or whatever. But the way I'm acting around my home, I'm getting ready for that to happen. I'm not getting ready for fucking roving gangs and shit like that, but I'm definitely getting ready to be able to eat when your money isn't worth anything anymore. In other words, you can have all the money in the world, man, but if the food's not there, it doesn't matter how much money you have. So, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. I mean, it's no fucking joke. Listen, people around the country right now, they're just starting to figure out, we have to pay $5 a gallon for gas. Well, we've been paying $5 a gallon for gas for a couple of years in California already. It doesn't mean that $5 a gallon means the same thing across America. Okay? $5 a gallon where you are might mean $7 a gallon like it is here, because it's fucking $7.15 a gallon for diesel. That doesn't have anything to do with the cost of fucking food and inflation. So whatever inflation number there is, you're going to add a shitload more on there for transporting that food. That shit is going to fucking, I'm telling you, man. This isn't one of those September 23rd dates that you got to go out and buy some fucking storable food shit. This is like, go out and buy yourself some fucking top ramens and shit, because you might have to live on that shit, and don't worry about if it's fucking healthy for you or not. I'm just saying. Spend a little, get some fucking rice and some beans, man. I'm just saying. Be smart. That's all I can do. Yeah, and you know what? And that's the other thing. The USDA, their fucking numbers are totally skewed, man. They make the numbers look less than they actually are. $125. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. When I was driving that big rig around doing that work, I was fucking spending $275 a day on gas some days. Nah, man. So it's literally, it's gotten to a point where it's a pretty steep situation. So, and I'm just trying to figure out something to do, and the problem is that everything is so uncertain in the future. It doesn't matter what I think of to do. It's just I can never do any of it because I don't want to put a bunch of effort into some shit for no reason. You know what I mean? So it's hard to figure out what kind of a business you're gonna start or whatever. I mean, they just fucking just, you know, I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's a precarious situation for all people involved, everybody alive at this time right now, going through this shit. Because people can only put gas on their credit cards for so long before the credit card companies, you know what they do? They fucking all of a sudden, they raise your interest rates just out of the blue. All of a sudden, they just start raising interest rates. And then pretty soon, you just fucking get banked out on your card, and that's it. And once people stop using their credit card, man, how the fuck can people afford, literally, you used to go out and spend, you take a $20 bill, or you take a $20 bill out, and spend it. Now it's the same thing as if you take a $100 bill. It's like a $100 bill now buys the same shit that a fucking $20 bill used to buy. I mean, to live in the Bay Area, they say you have to have 2 people making $65 an hour in order to survive here, in a you know, where you're not living hand to mouth all the time. Nobody's making $65 an hour around here. Hardly anybody. So nobody makes enough money to live here already. And so the thing is that at some point, something's going to give. Like, for example, my mom got a call from a friend of hers. She lives in a retirement community up in Washington, Seattle area. They just fucking raised her. I mean, now just imagine you're on a fixed income. You're just sitting there. You're on a fixed income. You only got so much money. All of a sudden, this motherfucker comes up and raises your rent by $400 a month. That's $100 a week. You know what I mean? So where are all these $100 bills coming from? Because I gotta fucking, in order for me to get 10 of those at the end of the week, I gotta go fucking literally risk my motherfucking life to get it. So if you're making $20 an hour and you're getting taxed and shit, you're bringing home like $600 a week at the most, maybe $500. And you had to pay $200 for gas, you got $300 left a week. It's, I don't know. I don't see how people are gonna make it. Not to mention the fact that there's shortages too. There's gas shortages. It's just, I mean, I don't know, man. See, I hate fucking getting up here and talking about this fucking shit. You know? Just because, I mean, it's, it's hard to sit here and have fun and stuff and talk about, whatever. I mean, there's quite a bit to talk about, man. Obviously, what's going on, all the stuff's going on, the shooting and everything. Rio is going to be working on some of the shooting in reverse. So, whenever he gets that together, maybe because he's not working, maybe we'll do a show tomorrow night. Because today he had a bunch of stuff to do. But I'm definitely going to be doing the wake and bake in the morning. I just don't want to sit here and fucking whip a dead horse or whatever. But I'm just telling you. Yeah, the breaking point, it's gonna, it'll have to happen. But it's not gonna happen like that. There isn't gonna be no smooth transition to that. That'll happen after the fucking chaos happens. Bernays. The chaos is gonna happen first. The chaos will drive the call for it. So, but first you have to endure the pain of it, and then you got all this, it's too bad the guys aren't here, because what I was gonna talk about tonight was how I think that, the social engineering has reached a fucking point where, it's just, I think a lot of people are just gonna be processed right over the edge, man. And the way that shit is popularized now, by putting up videos of it, it's only gonna make it worse. Yeah, well, if you got a student loan, looks like Biden's going to cut you $10,000 off of there. So maybe I should go back to school and start getting some student loans. Maybe that's what I should do. Because honestly, I don't know what else to do. And to say, fucking, what do you go to school for? What you think is going to be you going to school for something today? Fucking tomorrow might be out. And that's the thing, man. It's part of the operation. It's part of the operation to keep everybody on tilt, to, not know if you can go on that vacation or, do what you planned on doing when you retired. Everybody's fucking plans are changing, man. It's turning into a situation where people are just getting backed into their house, into their corner. Because, fuck, man, you don't got no money. I was surprised today because I live in a beach town, So everybody comes here. You know what I mean? There was hardly anybody here today. And I mean just local people from just the Bay Area. They come over here and go to the beach. So they weren't really here today that much. But it was freezing fucking cold here. It's still cold right now. I got 3 shirts on and a leather jacket, and I'm cold. So it's been unseasonably cold here, but it's been super hot everywhere else. So on one level, I'm sure you're going, fuck, man, I wish it was cold here, wherever you are, but I'm just saying, it's not that warm here. So it's odd. So I don't know where these guys are, and so I'm gonna go back to playing some more music here, because I don't, I don't want to sit here and whip a dead horse. You know what I mean? Well, we'll see what happens. There's no way to know. That's the thing. It's, And the other thing just to keep in mind, is depression and anxiety. It means you're thinking about yesterday or you're trying to think about tomorrow. And neither of those things are here. So that's what sucks, is the future creates anxiety. But you got to make a plan, right? You got to have some plan. You know what I mean? But how you going to make a plan if your fucking future's uncertain? You thought shit was going to be a certain way, but it's not that way anymore. You know what I mean? I'm starting to wonder, I've gotten to the point where, I don't know. See, these are the times that I get in trouble. You know what I mean? So, I don't want to get in trouble. So, a man without a plan is like a ship without a course. Its only fate is disaster. It's true, man. So, I don't know. Without a course, who knows? We're just living in an artificial paradise. Yeah, man. I don't know. Here's the thing. Lots of people are just hanging around looking for something to do. If you wanted to learn how to do something, go go find out how to can shit. Go on the internet and go learn how to can shit, and go learn how to bake bread and make noodles. You can just do it out of flour. Make sure you got flour and yeast at your house. Flour, yeast, beans, rice, and fucking whatever else you can scrape together. You know what I mean? Alright. Here. Have some of this. Man, you can get a couple chickens and treat them like pets. Okay, you don't have to have roosters. You know?
Loves in a lifetime, they seem to go astray. Many people come and go, they never seem to stay. Sometimes I kid myself, then I realize I'm just living in an artificial paradise. 100 times the hopes and dreams are blown into the air. 1,000 times it always seems no one is really there. Then I know I'm fooling myself, I'm not so wise. I'm just living in an artificial paradise. Plastic state of mind, superficial glow, living in a vacuum, close to zero.
Now what you gonna do when I leave and turn my back on you? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when I leave and turn my back on you? Standing around screaming and crying, but there ain't a thing that you can do. You walk all around in a daze, just about to go out of your head. You walk all around in a daze, just about to go out of your head. Wonder if you wouldn't be better off dead.
If sometimes you see that I'm mad, don't you know no one alive can always be an angel? When everything goes wrong, you see some bad. But I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Sometimes, baby, I'm so carefree, with a joy that's hard to hide.
Now employees do their own payroll.
And then sometimes again it seems that all I have is worry. And then you're bound to see my other side. night. Windshield cracked like an inside. Was a long flight, but I'm alright now. I can tell you're falling. It's nice to know. I can tell you're falling. It's nice to know.
We've been joined by Bruce MacDonald. Stand by.
Oh no, there you go. Now I won't be home for the late show. Sorry about the window. What a nice throw.
Houston, we're standing by. Over. VGY minus .0. VGZ minus .1. Delta BC minus 5.2. Fuel 362. Ox 364. Unbalanced 150. And our postmark
I'm playing this song specifically because I said something to you the other day, Bruce. Felt like an astronaut in a submarine, and I heard it in this song right here.
She sounds so serious. She told me on the phone. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I guess you tried to let me know. Even though it's on the stereo, it's not your typical way to go. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. 'Cause I found myself back in the bachelor seat. Feel like an astronaut in a submarine.
There we go. An astronaut in a submarine. Well, that song takes on a whole new meaning now with everybody saying the space station is actually underwater. What is that?
Who's saying that?
People say the space station doesn't exist. It's not really in space. I don't say it, but people say it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. When I was talking about it earlier, I looked at a USDA report today, and they said they were saying that eggs pretty soon are going to be $12 a dozen.
Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
He's always a pick-me-up, man. Always a pick-me-up.
Well, that's what I was talking about before, and I said, okay, I was done talking about it, and then I was going to play some music.
So,
which is what I was doing, and then you came on board, so I wasn't sure if that's what you wanted to talk about, or you had something else you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Please feel free to just jump in with anything you want, because I'm just sitting here by myself. Ria's in Texas.
Well, I feel like to continue talking about these things now is to keep making a closing argument for a case that has been adjudicated already.
That's what I was saying.
Right, it's done.
This
is happening, and this ain't a drill. It's happening.
I know. That's what I was saying before you got here.
We've been trying to prepare people for like years, man, on the radio.
Yeah.
And, they're either prepared or they're not, man. And it's got nothing to do with hunkering down and survivalism or any of that crap the Christian right wing talks about. It's just being commonsensical, having your own water, having a little bit of space to grow some of your own food, stuff like that. And, if some people thought it was a joke, I honestly didn't think it would creep up this quick, man. What they did with pandemic was pure black magic. It was brilliant. You got to tip your hat to your opponent from time to time. It just shows respect for the game. And man, that was pretty swift. The forest fires, the famine, they're really cranking that up, right? It's all coming from the money system.
Well, I saw this thing, and I didn't click on it. so I didn't go read it. So I can't verify that it's true, but I saw something that they have a task force now in Canada preparing for the fall of the United States.
I've heard no such thing, but I'll have my son look into it. Canada's gone completely insane. Yeah, like it is really scary how bloody insane Justin Trudeau really is, man. We're the only country in the world now that you cannot leave the country if you're not vaccinated. Okay? And it's like, what business is it of theirs? Who do they think they're protecting? The other country? If the other country's opened its borders up to the unvaccinated, it's none of Canada's business. Now just imagine, Jimmy, a country like Canada is chock full of immigrants. We're a more immigrant-laden country than even America, okay? Like, we are an immigrant-laden country. So you got all kinds of people that want to get back to the family once, twice a year. A lot of Muslims, they go home on Ramadan, they go back to Egypt, they go back to where we have a lot of Lebanese, we have a lot of Syrians, we have a lot of Iranians in the West End of Toronto, man. Nobody can leave the country, Jimmy. You can't leave unless you're vaxxed. If that doesn't change, my son can't even come back in November.
Man, dude, you
Right?
know what? I used to think that those fucking Georgia Guidestones, I used to think they were bullshit. But I'm starting to fucking think that those Georgia Guidestones, I think they are how many people are left after the Great Reset. You seriously?
Yeah, I don't know.
But what I did notice is,
Look, dude, I mean,
there
I
was
don't even want to speculate about that stuff out loud, right? Because it gives them victory. It fulfills. You become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well, I was
for
going to
them.
give you something positive, because it said the population in the United States was going to decline, but there was a lot of countries where it was going to increase, and Costa Rica was one of those countries. Just so you know. So
Well, Costa Rica stays about even, is how I would describe it. They stay about even, okay? China stays about even. There's a lot of countries that, if you go through those Deagle numbers, what you're going to see is any country that you would call a beneficiary of World War II is on the bottom, has got the shit end of the stick this time around. Okay? All the Scandinavian countries, Norway, Finland, Sweden, big scale backs in populations. Spain, fairly big cutback.
I think the biggest problem that's going to happen is that people in America are not used to things not being a certain way, and all of a sudden those things are going to be that way. And I swear to God, man, they're like, between the fuel prices and the prices for, they're not going to just let you drive around in an electric car for free, do you think? No, they're going to make everybody pay more for electricity.
It's no secret that you've been largely right, Jimmy, in everything you've been saying. What I think the idea of the work town is definitely coming back. Where if you don't have gainful employment, if you're not repped by a corporation, you have nothing. Your family has no medical coverage. You don't eat right. You don't live right. It's going to get to that point, right? It's going to get very much like Elysium, that movie with Jodie Foster and Matt Damon.
I didn't see it.
Oh, it's worth seeing, man. It's good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jodie Foster does good work, man. When she picks a movie to do, it's usually pretty good.
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
Yeah.
Even everything is just like a sad copy of the old shit, though. It's like,
so
when you look at these movies that come out now, it's like, dude, I'm telling you, and I'm not even, I am not bullshitting you. Okay, I'm not lying to you. I have not gone to the movies, into the movie theater, since fucking CGI became popular.
Yeah.
Because
I haven't
movies
been to
are
a
shit.
cinema in years, Jimmy.
Yeah, movies are shit.
They're total garbage, man. They're total garbage.
They replaced having to have talent to portray something in a make-believe scenario into this. All you have to do is sit in one of these, strap yourself into the green screen or whatever, and hang there with a
Yeah.
bag of Doritos in your hand or whatever. You know
So
what I mean? I don't
my
know.
my son was over here for 6 months, as you know, and he's 24. He's 24 until about 2 more weeks in early June. He turns 25. And I decided every time he comes over, I choose one thing to do that on top of everything else we do, like the work and the construction and everything, like one kind of educative thing. So this time around, I chose film. And I had him watch a series of films while he was here, like films that absolutely, undoubtedly changed my life, man. And he just could not believe how good these movies were. And it was all just dialogue, acting, story, pre-CGI. His two favorites of the 24 movies or so that I showed him, his absolute hands down two favorites were Apocalypse Now and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And he could not believe he'd never seen these two movies. And it's like nobody's telling his generation. There's all this. The people living in digital land, like born from '97 onward, Jimmy, they're living on a whole other time track, man. That whole generation is like a Mandela effect.
You know what, dude? I swear to this is the honest to God truth, man. The other day, okay, I was talking to you, and then after I got off the phone talking to you, I was remembering the scene, Sean Penn movie, Indian Runner. And it's these two brothers, and the one brother's talking to the other brother about these Indians that would run for 100 miles to deliver a message. And when he's telling him that, he says, and then he asks him, he says, when does the messenger become the message? Okay, now, just stop motion on that right there, because we were having a conversation about me doing radio still.
Yeah.
You know, doing shows. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, have I become the message? In other words,
a little bit.
In other words, because I deal with this information so much, you know, have I become the message? You know what I'm saying? You understand what I mean?
Yeah. I do, dude. I do.
It's because, I mean, it's, you know, it takes its toll on a person. You know, it's like, so the thing is,
I've been
like,
telling you this.
Well, okay,
What the fuck?
So in reference to that, in reference to the becoming the message now, and later on, I was down in the driveway after I realized this becoming the message thing, and I was mulling it over in my head as I was pressure washing the driveway. Okay, and it's when I realized, I went, wait a minute, this is fucking exactly the Apocalypse Now, because when he starts going up the river to find Kurtz, okay, when he actually finds Kurtz, he realizes he is fucking Kurtz.
Yeah. One of the last things my son said to me before he left the mountain is he says, Dad, you take your orders from the jungle now.
No, so what I'm saying is that the character of Kurtz, you know, he was in the army or whatever, and he was in the Marines or whatever the fuck he was in, and but he had gone off the reservation, and they were they're sending Martin Sheen to go get him, and Martin Sheen's trying to figure out, like, you know, what the fuck's going on with this guy. And then he realizes at one point, you know, that whole thing was a man's journey to find himself, dude. When he found Kurtz, he found out there was no difference between him and Kurtz. It's like, you know, going after Kurtz for murder is like handing out tickets, speeding tickets at the Indianapolis 500. Now, hey, one of those good movies you were talking about, people forget about it. It's called Dinner with Andre. You ever seen it?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I've seen it many times. For those of you who write, it is a masterpiece of dialogue, man. It is so contained with it. The whole movie takes place at one table, two guys having a conversation. It would be low end. It would be minimalist theater.
Here it is.
And they just put.
I got
Put a camera on these two guys. It's one of my top 10 favorite films of all time.
All right.
Do you know actually about that place in Scotland, Findhorn? Have you ever read about it? Do you know
No.
anything about it? Did they
No.
talk about it in the movie?
No.
Oh, dude, it's a mystical community
Well, I'll tell
in
you what.
Scotland, man.
I'll tell you what. Get ready to tell us all about it because I got this clip right here from Dinner with Andre. It's a 3-minute and 18-second clip.
Oh, that'll do.
So let's see if I can get away with it, because one of the things that gets me in trouble is playing clips from movies.
Well, why do you think that is? I mean, why is that? I mean, is it just because people are lazy today or they're bored? I mean, are we just like bored, spoiled children who've just been lying in the bathtub all day, just playing with their plastic duck, and now they're just thinking, well, what can I do?
Okay, yes. We're bored. We're all bored now. But has it ever occurred to you, Wally, that the process that creates this boredom that we see in the world now may very well be a self-perpetuating, unconscious form of brainwashing created by a world totalitarian government based on money, and that all of this is much more dangerous than one thinks, and it's not just a question of individual survival, Wally, but that somebody who's bored is asleep, and somebody who's asleep will not say no? See, I keep meeting these people. I mean, just a few days ago, I met this man whom I greatly admire. He's a Swedish physicist, Gustav Bjornstrand, and he told me that he no longer watches television, he doesn't read newspapers, and he doesn't read magazines. He's completely cut them out of his life because he really does feel that we're living in some kind of Orwellian nightmare now, and that everything that you hear now contributes to turning you into a robot. And when I was at Findhorn, I met this extraordinary English tree expert who had devoted his life to saving trees. Just got back from Washington, lobbying to save the redwoods. He's 84 years old. He always travels with a backpack because he never knows where he's going to be tomorrow. And when I met him at Findhorn, he said to me, "Where are you from?" And I said, "New York." He said, "New York, yes, that's a very interesting place. Do you know a lot of New Yorkers who keep talking about the fact that they want to leave but never do?" And I said, "Oh, yes." And he said, "Why do you think they don't leave?" I gave him different banal theories. He said, "Oh, I don't think it's that way at all." He said, "I think that New York is the new model for the new concentration camp, where the camp has been built by the inmates themselves, and the inmates are the guards, and they have this pride in this thing they've built. They've built their own prison, and so they exist in a state of schizophrenia, where they are both guards and prisoners, and as a result, they no longer have, having been lobotomized, the capacity to leave the prison they've made, or to even see it as a prison." And then he went into his pocket and he took out a seed for a tree and he said, "This is a pine tree." He put it in my hand and he said, "Escape before it's too late." See, actually for 2 or 3 years now, Chiquita and I have had this very unpleasant feeling that we really should get out. And we really should feel like Jews in Germany in the late 30s. Get out of here. Of course, the problem is where to go, because it seems quite obvious that the whole world is going in the same direction. See, I think it's quite possible that the 1960s represented the last burst of the human being before he was extinguished, and that this is the beginning of the rest of the future now, and that from now on there'll simply be all these robots walking around, feeling nothing, thinking nothing, and there'll be nobody left almost to remind them that there once was a species called a human being, with feelings and thoughts, and that history and memory are right now being erased, and soon nobody will really remember that life existed on the planet.
Fuck.
I take my orders from the jungle.
You want to be on camera, Bruce?
When the music's over, when the music music's over here. When the music's over, turn up the lights, turn up the lights, turn up the lights. Yeah, yeah. When the music's over. One, baby.
1-5. Nobody here is out alive.
You get yours, baby.
I'll get mine. Gonna make it, baby, in our prime. Jim Morrison. He was a poet, and you didn't know it.
Oliver Stone thought so.
Sound like Beavis and Butthead. So the new network's coming online July 4th of July weekend. I guess on the Monday. Monday.
Operation Victory. Operation Victory and Freedom.
Could be.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
There will be no peace in the land, Jimmy, until the MAGA king takes his throne again.
Well, I don't know about that, man. I saw his stream today, and he only had 17,500 people watching it. And then later on, I saw his stream, and he had like, I don't know, 30,000 people. He lost a lot of juice going around saying he was the one.
You on out there?
He's the one. Hey man, do you like
MAGA king?
Do you like R.L. Burnside?
Well, I'll let you know after I listen here.
You should, man.
Play some John.
Here he is, right here.
Don't care how long you go, how long you stay. Yeah, good time treatment, bring it home one day. But someday, baby, you ain't gonna trouble for me anymore.
Goodbye, girl, better get close, get gone. Had a great time, got me pretty good. Had a good thing, but we got more than you gave. God damn it, now give it to you, girl, you got game. Goodbye, girl, better get close, get gone. Had a great time.
So, R.L. Burnside. He's good, man. I dig him.
Testify, Jimmy.
No, I like him. Did you know that Sam Kinison was a preacher? Before
I
he
did
was,
know that, yeah.
he was before-
I did, yeah.
Have you ever heard any of his sermons?
No, I have not, no.
They have a I think there's a recording of his last sermon before he went and became a comedian. So check the here's more here's another clip. Check this out.
Broken lines and broken strings, broken threads and broken springs, broken arrows and broken heads, people sleeping in broken beds. Ain't no news of jiving, ain't no news of joking. Everything is broken, broken bottles and broken plates.
For some reason, I just hear beer bottles breaking and pool cues snapping on someone's skull when I'm listening to the song.
Broken parts. The fear with broken heart.
Some bar on some lonely highway in North Carolina. Heads are getting
Are
broken.
you aware, Jimmy, of the circumstance of one Val Kilmer?
Which, as far as what?
Well, do you know his life story? Do you know where he's at now? Do you know what's going on with him?
No, I haven't checked in with Val Kilmer for a while. Like I said, it's been a while since I've been to the movies.
Well, I bring it up because he's coming back, but in a new series, a reboot of the Willow movie or something. But they're going to do a series. There's so many streaming services now. They're completely out of material, man. They're just rolling shit up in flour and calling it a tortilla. I mean, it's just unbelievable, man.
Dude, I was sitting here, and I was looking at this video, and I'm watching these dancers that are in it. And they're like, they're in their 20s or whatever, and this is a video from like the 80s or whatever. Mm-hmm. So the dancers that are in there are now old. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
But when they were young and they were in that moment and they were dancing around or whatever, and now they look back at that video and they're all sitting there and they're like fucking 200 pounds overweight. And they're all sagged out and fucked up, looking like 30 miles of bad road, hanging like curtains. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
It's like, but the thing is you got used up for the moment. In other words, when you were in your prime, they tossed you out there and threw you in there and you made a bunch of movies. And then all of a sudden you just went away and you just go off and die old and fucked up. No one ever hears from you again. You know what I mean? But you can look back at that movie. It's always there. That moment is captured for eternity of you in that state, in that moment.
Well, Val Kilmer had a really, really bad instance of throat cancer. He speaks with one of these now. He's got to press the button on his throat. He's got one of those permanent holes in his throat now. Mm-hmm. And he's still getting acting roles.
Like Sonny Barger.
I saw him in a movie. Yeah. Yeah, exactly like Sonny Barger. Yeah. Yeah. It just seemed, I don't know, like, it just seemed like Val Kilmer got done dirty there.
Certain people, man, you can like, I don't know, man. For example, like Rob Lowe. It's like Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe is sitting there. He's making movies. He's fucking super successful. Okay, and then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, nobody knows why, all of a sudden, boom, Rob Lowe, something's up with him. Same thing with Sean Penn. Same thing. Sean Penn was getting big. He married Madonna. He started going fucking psycho, and then he just went off in the weeds. And but he came back. But Rob Lowe never came back from that 17-year-old girl or whatever they found him with. And I used to go to meetings at the Comedy Store, AA meetings.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they used to have them there. And Rob Lowe was always at that meeting, man, in the back with his little hat on or whatever.
You can't give away the anonymity, dude.
What's that? No, he's
you can't give away the anonymity.
He said that he's an AA himself. I'm not relying on his anonymity. I'm not going to say anything he said.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, no, man, dude, I was going to meetings in Hollywood when Hollywood was all going to meetings. Everybody in Hollywood was going to meetings. Everybody got sober like at this one period of time. It's like Red Hot Chili Peppers, fucking, everybody, Jane's Addiction, all these people. Fucking Aerosmith. What's his name? What's his name? Sir. What's the guy in the Cannibal movie, Hannibal Lecter? That dude, Sir. What's his nuts?
Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, Sir Anthony Hopkins. I used to go to meetings with him. Men's meeting. It was a men's meeting. Go ahead.
I come from an AA family. My father was in the program. He used to go to the Parliament Hill meeting, Jimmy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because he was not an elected official, but he was way up in the federal ministry. He was an economist. And that would be, what would the equivalent for the Americans? It would be like a closed AA meeting just for members of the House of Congress. Something like that. Mm-hmm. My dad used to go to those meetings. And it was like the nation's capital for the underbelly of AA. And you'd be amazed who was in those meetings, man. But I can't say because it's anonymous.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I've told it on the air
like
before. I don't know if I told you this story. Did I ever tell you about the story about when I was going to the meeting at SAG? When I went to that
No,
meeting?
man.
Yeah, because I had
Give us that.
I
Give
had
us
a
that.
I had a buddy, okay, and he was an actor and he was in a bunch of shit. Okay.
Yeah.
And so he was in SAG and he's like, hey man, come with me to this meeting. It's a good meeting over here at SAG. So you don't have to be a member. You can just come in there for the meeting. So I went over there,
Screen
you know.
Actors Guild, folks. Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah, so I'm in there. I'm in there. I got asked to join the actor studio when I was in LA, dude. I studied under Jeff Goldblum at his actors thing in the Valley and shit. But why am I telling you this? Oh, SAG. So I'm in this room, dude. Okay? I'm in this fucking room. And I'm in there and I'm going, man, I'm having this fucking deja vu from hell, dude. It's like it's ongoing. And I'm stirring my coffee in the back of the room, my little cup. You know, I'm stirring my coffee. I'm going, fuck. This is like the longest deja vu I've ever had in my life, man. And then I realized what it was. It was because all the people in the room, they were all these actors that you don't even know who their name is, but they're in everything. It's like the dude on the motorcycle cop, you know, the guy at the the gas station, the old lady, you know, in the fucking commercial or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just these bit actors, you know. It's
So
true.
they drink when they get a part to celebrate, and then when they get depressed when they don't pick up a part for 4 or 5 months, they're drinking too much.
Yeah.
There's the bitter life, man. Those basket rimmers in Hollywood. Just enough to keep a little bit of noodle in your cupboards, but not really enough to say that you have a future.
I've hardly told
to fly your mom.
Dude, I've hardly I've on the air over all these years I've been doing this. I've never name dropped or told any of the fucking stories from LA when I lived down there.
Jimmy.
At some point I'm probably gonna do it, man. Because I mean, why not? At this point.
You can't do it, Jimmy. You can't break the anonymity.
No, it ain't no anonymity, man. It has nothing to do with AA.
Unless they've written a memoir saying that they were in the program.
It doesn't. My stories don't have shit to do with AA, other than I was in it when I was living down there.
You are like the definitive LA baby, aren't you?
Well, I don't know about that, dude, but I know this. I ended up there, and I wasn't planning on going there, and I ended up there.
Were you born there?
No.
Where are you originally from in
I'm
California?
from the East Coast. No, I'm from the East Coast, man. I'm not from California.
What?
That's right, man.
How old were you when you went out there?
I don't know. 7.
Come on. Oh, so your mom went out there. You went with your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where were you born, though? Jersey?
I was on the East Coast. I'm an East Coaster, but, you know.
Yeah, it's a big coast, Jimmy.
I know. So I went down to L.A. from here.
But where are you from in the East Coast?
That's where I'm from, the East Coast.
Yeah, dude, it's a big coast. What state are you from?
Well, I mean, I'll narrow that down for you off the air. How about that?
All right. Wait, are there outstanding warrants, man?
No. No.
Okay.
But those are key, key ingredients for a person. So.
I know, it was explained to me by the Taoists when I lived in Taiwan. Taoist master never gives his place or date of birth.
Mm-hmm. So what are you thinking, man? What were we saying before we went down that path?
Oh, we were talking about famine, Jimmy, and
no,
how cannibalism is just around the corner. And another big thing that's going to happen as the economy starts to collapse is, I hope the drugs don't collapse, because the street-level drug addicts are a big problem if they have to dry out in 24 hours. Okay? If the crack dries up, if the meth dries up.
I'm telling you right, man, shit is so far out of control. There's no way to control what's going on at this point. There's literally prostitution. There's prostitution on the internet.
Give me some details, Jimmy.
No, I'm just saying there's people selling dope on the internet. like on Craigslist. I saw an ad earlier today. The ad was for something like a pot, or like a clay pot for putting plants in. But there was a picture. There was a picture of a bud, like a flower, and then it said coke, meth, so on and so forth, and then it gave a phone number in a JPEG. It's like a picture. I know, man. But the thing is how can they police that? There isn't thousands and thousands of people to go out there and chase everybody down that's doing that.
So
and it's crossing county lines and all this shit. There's like
I guess California's kind of like that trench way up the river in Apocalypse. Who's in charge here, soldier? Shit, man, ain't you?
I thought it was you.
I thought it was you, man. Ain't you, buddy?
That's one of my favorite scenes when he's out, when the guy's out going, "Fuck you, GI, fuck you, fuck you, GI."
So I heard that the police don't even want to be called if the shoplifting is under $250. So all the street people go right into the pharmacies now and just grab shampoo and tampons, just fill up bags and walk out.
Well, peep this out, man. The way shit's going, here's the thing.
Who's minding the store?
Okay, so first of all, let me just say, from a business standpoint, let's say that was going on in actuality, and you own that. How much of that's a write-off? And is it like 3 times the amount? You probably get 3 times the amount of the write-off, and then meanwhile, you're taking that money that you're getting because you know what the future holds. And what the future holds is it holds stores that have locked doors with the picture of it on the front that you don't open unless you swipe your fucking phone in front of it. I mean, they're already putting these into these CVS, these pharmacies, like all the goods are behind locked doors, man.
So you're saying that the merchant might be saved through his insurance, but I think, Jimmy, that this problem has reached a point where the insurance companies are going to go insolvent. They can only handle a certain amount of offset every year, right? So a lot of companies went belly up in Katrina in New Orleans. A lot of national insurance providers, a lot of state insurance providers. Actually, I'm not sure about that. I don't know enough about American law, but a lot of insurance providers at a state level in Louisiana, they went belly up, man. They couldn't pay. And it's the same thing here, right?
I'm not saying the insurance is paying for it. What I'm saying is they write it off on their taxes as a loss.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Net loss, dude. Net loss, including wages paid to put it on the shelf.
Exactly, everything.
Right.
So it's 3 times the amount of the actual theft itself. So that's why credit card companies don't care if you don't pay. Credit card companies don't care if you never pay, because if you don't pay, they write your shit off 3 times the value of whatever you didn't pay on. So they get all that money and then they sell that to another dude who then tries to get you to pay, even though it's already been paid. And you don't have a contract with the second dude, so you don't have to say shit. As long as you don't ever make an arrangement with the second guy, you never say you'll pay. You never admit that that's yours.
Yeah.
And let me just say this. I'll say one more thing in relation to that conversation. Anytime somebody calls you around that kind of a conversation where they're calling for some reason, and they say this call is being recorded, and you say, well, in my state of California, you're not allowed to record the conversation unless I give you permission. And I don't give you permission to record this conversation. You know what happens next?
No.
They hang up. They don't want to talk to you without being recorded. So.
Yeah. So I got a true story, Jimmy. I've never used credit in my life. I had a credit card briefly from about 99 to 2002, and then I got rid of it. And I know I've never bought anything on credit in my life except a Chrysler minivan in like 1998 when my son was 1 year old. But
The only way,
I
the only way people in America are surviving right now,
yeah.
one way, and that's only one way. Fucking credit
How's
cards.
that?
Credit cards. That's it. There's
Well,
no
that's spooky,
way.
man.
No, I'm telling you because listen, there's no way you're gonna convince me people go to work for 40 hours and come home with enough money to afford $300 a week for gas.
Yeah.
And that has to like start chipping away at other shit. And when people start, see, the thing is what people don't realize is like we've gotten to the point where everything is like you know, we pay everybody to do everything for us. You know, you go to a restaurant, you know, have somebody else cook your dinner for you. You have the lawnmower dude come by and clean your shit, all to keep it so you can keep going to work. And you know, you have this constant.
But all the fundamental funds are still solvent, right? Like your mom is still getting Social Security at her age and everything. There's no bankruptcy.
Yeah, we're generalizing, not talking about specific. So generally speaking, people are on a fixed amount of money. Some people, most people, you know, older people, they're on a fixed amount of money, but they can never make more than that amount of money. Because they have to, that would mean they'd have to go out and work, and then if you work, it takes away from the other money. You can only make so much money, or else they take it away from. They never let you get it past a certain point.
Yeah.
But even irrespective of that, because, I mean, what's going to happen to those people? Those people are going to suffer, man, because in the wintertime, when all these gas prices and these oil prices and shit, there's going to be people having to decide whether they're going to heat their house or they're going to buy prescription drugs for grandma or whatever. And it's also going to happen in the summer because the electricity rates are going to go up and everybody's going to be burning up all this electricity and shit. There's going to be power outages. There's going to be all kinds of shit going on, man. You know, it's just... People better fucking...
Sounds like a sci-fi movie, Jimmy. Sounds like a sci-fi movie.
Well, I know. If people don't see the handwriting on the wall by now, man. You know, everybody's been through the drill a million times with these issues that have come up and been talked about over the years. You know what I'm saying? People have been talking about the end of the world for a million years on these radio shows. Thousands of hours have gone by talking about it.
A lot of vulnerable people in our society too, North American society. People don't maintain the same
even if you
family structure, right? Family keeps you whole when you're living in the second and third world. You know, you get by with a big family over here, right? Family keeps you whole. But now, you know, like I live in a place where like anything can happen, right? And what keeps anything from happening all the time are families, because the justice is retributive. It's clan-based, right? It's all gone in the first world now. It's all gone, right? So there's so many vulnerable people now, single mothers, women living alone. I mean, look at what's going on in London, England with those Pakistani groomers. It's disturbing, dude. It's disturbing.
Well, listen, man, this 80-year-old lifespan is all based around the current situation. Okay, so populations can only grow if there's a food source for it. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's ants, if fucking maggots, I don't care what it is. If there's no food source, there's no population.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
True.
Fucking.
Yeah.
You know, the thing
Food
is
critical, man.
The thing is there wouldn't be, for example, if you take a bunch of rice, okay, there's a place on Earth where there's people, they're starving to death. There's nobody there. There's no food or whatever. They have no food. So typically, in a natural situation, those people would either have to migrate or figure something out, or they would just die off. So the thing is, what happens is they take and they throw a bunch of food at those people. These people that are starving. And then what do? They eat food and they lay around and have sex, man.
Yeah.
And they breed, and then there's more and more people. Now there's even more people. You got to You got to keep throwing the rice, man. If you stop throwing that rice, man, there's all these people that are, and that's pretty much where we are. There's a bunch of people that depend on goods that are floating around the world. And so when people start locking down their goods and shit starts flowing, and it's, I mean, you know, the whole Arab Spring thing started over the price of bread, didn't it? There was some thing going, some dude set himself on fire or some shit because of the price of bread. And it just sparked this whole thing. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy, it's a grim forecast for the man who's not prepared, man, or the family that's not prepared. Woe be to them who have young children now. Seriously.
Hold on,
it's
I'm
a
getting
line from the Bible, I believe.
I'm getting spammed by Tinder.
What's going on here?
Somebody Tinder's over here talking about going to Tinder. So, well, they got me to say it now. So, even though we redacted the messages. Thanks for taking care of that, Natalie. So, yeah, man. It seems like Escape from New York or some shit. Just build a wall. We built a wall around New York City and turned it into a maximum security prison.
Oh, dude, man, you tell me if that dude in Dinner with Andre wasn't right, that it is the model for the concentration camp.
Totally.
Right?
And I should break you off this right now. Make you. Are you here with me for a minute? Because I'll play something right now, and you'll see what I'm talking about, man, dude.
Does it enforce the idea that the MAGA king will take his throne again?
Well, as long as you remember that when we did the show about MAGA being is the highest.
Yeah, I'm being sarcastic.
Okay, hold on a second. Now you made me forget what I was gonna do, which was more important. What the
MAGA king will take his throne again with a crown of thorns.
I forgot what I was gonna do now. It's too bad because it was gonna be good.
Oh man.
What were you talking about right before that?
The MAGA king taking his throne
Before
again.
that, shit. That's.
Look, there is a point of.
I was gonna play a clip. What were you talking about before you started bringing that up?
Well, we're talking generally. Generally, we're talking about the point of crises in all the problems with all of our supply chains.
It had to do with
and the most
escape from New York.
The cities being concentration camps.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Universe. Hold on. Universe 25. Now, you got to hear this, dude. Seriously. This here is. So there's something that's called the Universe 25 experiment. Okay. Are you familiar with it?
No.
All right. So this is a guy, John Calhoun, and he put these.
Name sounds familiar.
He put these rats, these mice.
Yeah, I do know this experiment. I've seen the video of the original footage.
Right.
Yeah, this is freaky. This is freaky, folks.
Hey, Washington Sean, I showed the clip. You must have missed it. Hang on a second. No, I'm not on Tinder. Hold on a second. All right. So basically, these mice and their behaviors, I mean, they're fucking exact representative of what you would say, like say in New York City or Chicago. I mean, LA is not the same as New York and Chicago. It's not like high rises and shit. I mean, LA is spread out, but it's all like 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hold on. I didn't realize you were
back
on camera here. Hold on a second. For some reason, there it is. It won't let me grab you and pull you over there. All right, so let me see if I can get this. I'll put this up on the screen for people. You need me to share my screen with you? You want me to share my screen with you, dude?
Why?
So,
what
because
am I
I'm
looking
about
at?
to
A
play
video clip?
Universe 25 video. Hang on a second.
All right, dude. Share
Hang
your
on.
screen.
Stand by. Stand by. Let me get the YouTube people squared away here. Where is it? There it is. Universe 25 experiment. All right. So, what I found really interesting, you know, just to kind of, what are those books? What are those books that give you the bottom line? You know, you give me
The Bible?
No,
The Holy Bible?
they're like yellow books. Instead of you having to read the big book, you just read that, and then it's, you know, basically.
Cole's Notes.
Yeah, this is the Cole's Notes version. What I noticed about it is the mice. There's all these different places that they can go in there. And there's food all in these different places, and it's almost like restaurants. You know, that's what I was kind of thinking of when I was seeing this. And there's these different places they can go, and they go around these different places, but eventually, after a while, after they've been to all the different places, they begin to get bored and shit, and they go back to these little isolation places, and they just sit in front of the mirrors and lick themselves. They sit in front of the mirrors and lick themselves, you know, and and it's like they become, it's just interesting, man. And that's the extinction phase, is when they get bored with everything and they can't, they've done it all. They've seen it all. They've been everywhere in there. And when you think about the onslaught of information, how like, it's like, you want to go to France? Dude, why get on the plane and get in the fucking, put the mask and ride the plane over there and go over there and land and get in fucking hassles and go through all these problems and all this shit, when all you have to do is just jump on the internet and go fucking look at a 4K video of walking around in France and eliminate all that bullshit. And if you could do that, that means you can experience all this shit without actually having to do it. And then you become bored.
Virtual reality,
Yeah, and then you become bored. Right? People are actually bored. People are bored. Look at this shit. All right, come on, man.
One of the themes that dominates today is that humanity is headed to its doom because of overpopulation, lack of resources, hunger, disease, climate change. You name it, and it's a thing. Politics the world over are obsessed with leveraging those ideas for power.
Man, this isn't the video. This is a dude making a video about the video. Let's see here.
Testify, Jimmy. Testify.
Yeah, I just want to.
I think we get the point, man.
Yeah. This is,
we got it.
It's like it's just like a dead end. Everything's a dead end. Like, for example, think about this. This is a trip when you think about it. At some point in time, people were sitting at their houses, okay? Mind their own business. But at some point in time, it became fashionable for you to go away from your house down to some place that had a bar in it, and there was alcohol in there. And you went down there specifically for one reason only, and that is to get fucking drunk. Okay? And you went down there and you paid people to give you drinks, and you sat there and you got fucking drunk. You and everybody else in that bar. And that was actually like a pastime. In other words, that's what you did, you know. Hey, what are you going to do tonight? Well, I'm going to fucking go down to such and such. Fucking hang out. You know what I mean? I hang out.
I got friends in Toronto who still do that, man. My Irish and Scottish friends. Drinking is still big a part of the culture, man. I got buddies with like $2,000 a month bar bills, man. I swear to God, they're unmarried. They're 48, 50 years old. You know, make a pretty good living in tech writing. Make like 120 grand a year. Live in a small bachelor or 1-bedroom apartment. They've got the best of electronic gear, like the newest phones and everything. Bit of a retirement plan, but their biggest expense is their bar tab every month, man. I mean, for $2,000 a month, you could be a member of the best golf club in Toronto.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
crazy. Put your kids through the best private school.
When did this start though? Did this start at like? It started with the prohibition. It's like you
I don't know.
couldn't get
It's
it.
been around a while.
No, I'm just saying it started with the prohibition. You couldn't get it, so you went behind closed doors and paid for it. And then it became okay, but those places where you paid for it were still there. And then everybody was like dancing around, you know, flappers and all this shit, having a good time. And they just like promoted it. You know, you see Dean Martin and them, Sinatra, they're having cocktails. You know what I mean? But ultimately though, it's like the thought of being drunk, like just for no reason, just to fucking just get hammered. Just to sit there fucking somewhere and get hammered. And like, is it okay for a dude to just sit around and get hammered at a bar by himself now? Or is that weird now?
Boat drinks.
Is that,
boat drinks, Jimmy.
I'm just saying, is it weird? I mean, because I used to go bars I used to go everywhere by myself. I'd be sitting there, you know what I mean, doing my thing or whatever, just going someplace, hanging out for hours or whatever at some bar, listening to some band.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, that drinking culture is everywhere, man. There are more borrachos over here, drunks. Borracho is drunk in Spanish, and there are more borrachos over here per capita than there are in the U.S., man. And when I lived in Taiwan for 2 years, I was amazed at the level that the Chinese drank too. And there's a big drinking culture in Chinese culture. Everybody drinks, dude. Everybody goes to bars, man. It's like you and I don't know about it because we don't do it. But if you're into it, those are the people you know, right?
Dude, that's all I did my whole life, dude. And I did it even when I was sober. I still went and hung out at bars. That's what I'm saying.
Jesus.
I spent 10 years working in a fucking major bar, dude. That had major league musicians coming through there, you know, basically 7 days a week. So, I mean, I've been around bars my whole life, but I just now all of a sudden, just today, you know, I was looking at this liquor store. I was sitting at the light. I was looking at this liquor store. I was thinking to myself, man, there's motherfucking 3,000 ways inside of that store. 3,000 different ways to achieve the same fucking result. You get fucking drunk. You know, and now it's the weed stores are the same thing as the liquor stores. You know, now it used to be there's just these liquor stores here and there. You had to go down there and get your gin or whatever the fuck it is. Because I go to the liquor store sometimes to get a pack of smokes, and I'm always standing in line behind people buying shit. You know, and there's people buying
Dude, the natives I live with here, the Kabakar, in a bush camp, right? Sometimes when you give them certain kinds of work, they won't go home to the reserve. They'll just sleep where they're working for like 7 days. They get it all figured out, man. Some hammocks, a tarpaulin, whatever. But they can distill liquor in 24 hours in the bush. They use the first time I heard about this was about 8 months ago when I was getting 6 hectares cleared. I was thinking of getting cattle, but I changed my mind. And the natives were working on the land, and they had a list of stuff they wanted us to get them from town. And yeast was on the list, and I went, "You guys break bread in the jungle?" And they both cracked up laughing, and they said, "No, man, we make beer." And they call it cheech, and it's about 3% alcoholic volume. And it what it does in primitive societies. Yeah, what it does in primitive society. Now you got to hear this, dude, because it's pure genius. To have low levels of alcohol running through your system all the time is very, very beneficial for you if you eat a very wild diet where you come into contact with bacteria that a lot of people don't come into contact with.
Yeah.
So this didn't evolve. This has been in their culture for like centuries, man. They've been able to distill liquors, and the weirdest shit, like fruit based. They go to a mango tree, come back in 3 weeks, they've got something distilled. It's like a medium security prison in California, right? They can distill anything. It's amazing, actually.
It's like Pruno.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got brothers-in-law up here in their early 60s, worked hard their whole lives, man, total tanks. And they get the diabetes. A couple of them have gotten the diagnosis in the last 2.5 years. Diabetes is big over here. I'm not quite sure why. They don't seem to eat more sugar than we do in North America, but diabetes. And they don't change nothing, dude. They keep drinking. It's for them. It's like terminal cancer. Oh, I got diabetes. I'm gonna die. They don't think of changing anything. They just keep drinking.
Well, that's
and you
why
say, hey,
the
man,
diet, because there's so much sugar in the alcohol, dude.
Yeah, I know, and they know it's killing them, but they won't even stop, dude. They won't even stop.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't know, man. I was lucky enough, to have been able to, get a hold of myself
Testify.
When I did. Otherwise, I definitely wouldn't be here. There's no question.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard many a tale, Jimmy. Many a tale.
Mm-hmm.
See, I've probably been to over 100 AA meetings in my life, and that's just like from 7 years old to 12 years old as a form of babysitting. Swear to God, man, I grew up in those church basements.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
fuck, dude, as far as like self-help goes, just imagine, I was clean and sober for 25 years. So the first 10 of that, I was fucking going to meetings pretty much every day, listening to people, listening to the fucking meetings, listening to their problems, listening to the after talk, listening to all this shit. So you can imagine how many fucking thousands of people I've come in contact with, listening to, from human nature standpoint. Like if I was, like I almost feel like I'm a watcher on the wall or some shit like that, man, where I'm fucking sitting here observing all this shit. Just because of all the places that I've been, all the shit I've been able to observe, over the years. You know what I mean? And it's just like, so in the course of doing that too, I was also self-helping myself. So I was reading all these books and I was doing all this shit and I was, you know what I mean? So I have quite a bit.
I do.
I have like an extensive amount of experience in that particular area.
Yeah.
As far as like being able to help people with shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just not because
why wouldn't you?
Not because I've experienced, just from what I've personally experienced, but also the benefit of hearing all these different people's testimonies over the years, and to just know what human nature is, man. It's like there's no way to avoid it. There is no way to avoid human nature.
None. Absolutely.
No. So, I mean, and once you've mastered the ability to manipulate human nature, from that point forward, man, you're pretty much just what that dude was talking about earlier, a robot in a self-made prison.
Yeah. Yeah. Break free, folks. Break free. Get yourself to the rainforest.
I saw there was some protest. I saw there was something going on where these young people went out into the woods and just said, fuck you or whatever, and they started blowing shit up. It's something, man. I'll have to look and see where it is. I'll try to find it. Not now, obviously, but it was a story about a bunch of these people that went out in the woods on some dude's property and set up barricades and said, get the fuck out or whatever. And the guy's like, get off my property, and they wouldn't leave. And then the cops came and they started like throwing Molotov cocktails and shit.
Squatters, Jimmy. Squatters.
When you think about it, man, I mean, think about these malls, dude. These fucking nothing but mall after mall after mall. What happens to the mall?
Jimmy, it's scarier than that.
Dude, what happens?
Most of the malls in Canada were built with the pension fund, like the Social Security fund. I mean, people stop going to malls, people are going to stop getting their Canadian Social Security.
What happens to the fucking mall when no one goes to the mall to buy anything?
It gets taken over by cougars and mountain lions, Jimmy. I saw it in a Simpsons episode. Next question.
Well, I mean, the thing is, where you see failure, where you see the end, it could be just the beginning. I mean, you could take that shitty mall over, turn it into condos, man. Grow food and aquaponics and shit in the middle, where they got all those fake trees and shit.
I do. Jimmy, as you're growing up, you hear the phrase here and there in movies, and maybe your parent says it to you or somebody says it to you, but people say stuff like, you don't want to live the law of the jungle, do you? It's not the law of the jungle here, right? I heard that all the time in movies and stuff, the law of the jungle, growing up. And you start to think, wow, that must be some pretty hard-ass law there in the jungle. Well, I can tell you, it's the most even-handed law you've ever experienced in your life. All the frustration is in the bureaucracy, Jimmy. You just give it to me straight, doctor. Live the jungle law, folks. If you want to survive what's coming, live jungle law. Live natural law.
Mm-hmm. Whenever I hear law of the jungle, you know, what's the law of the jungle? The survival of the fittest?
I hear they've already descended to cannibalism on Staten Island, Jimmy. Is that true? Can you verify?
Well, I've always said, man, bacon's kind of suspect, man. Bacon is suspect.
Watch out for
Bacon is suspect.
Staten Island.
I'm telling you, man. Everyone's looking for Soylent Green. Say, stay away from. Stay away from.
The first person who steps into. Go ahead, Jimmy.
I'm just saying, stay away from bacon unless you're getting it directly from Bruce. You don't know.
Well, the first person who brings in the food that covers the gap in the supply chain, he's probably selling people, folks. Goes down to the morgue for your
Walking
barbecue.
through forests of palm tree apartments, scoff at the monkeys who live in their dark tents down by the water.
I'm gonna scoff at the monkeys who live in their dark tents down by the water hole.
Sunday, lions and tigers who wait in the shadows.
Man, 50 cents a kilogram.
Lions and tigers who hide in the shadows. They're fast but they're lazy and sleep in green meadows. Man, Jethro Tull. I know people hate Jethro Tull because he won that award that one year when Metallica should have won it. And they're like, fuck Jethro Tull, man. He's not metal. But, I don't know, man. Jethro fucking Tull, man. This is some really good. See, if we were on the air right now, this would be fucking riveting late night radio. We'd be blowing away George Norrie right now.
It's captivating. It's captivating, Jimmy.
I'm just saying, man. Fucking Jethro
It's
Tull.
fly paper conversation. You get stuck to it.
Here, listen. Let me just say.
Testify.
No, I'm gonna get the lyrics to this song. Hang on a second.
Man meat, 50 cents a kilogram.
Hold on a second here. Let me get a window that doesn't have a YouTube video on it. Stand by. So I'm gonna say skating. Hang on, skating away on the thin ice of a new day. Lyrics. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, but when I was a kid, I totally got into Jethro Tull.
Yesterday.
But this album right here was the one, War Child. This album right here, I fucking listened to it a billion times. Almost as many times as I listened to Stevie Wonder, Talking Book.
Jethro Tull never hit my radar, man. When I got into music, I went straight to progressive rock, man.
Okay,
yes,
listen to
Genesis
this.
And Pink Floyd.
I'm gonna blow your fucking mind right now. Hold on. Okay, listen. This is the song "Skating Away." Parentheses, on the thin ice of a new day.
So he's a metal pioneer then, Jethro Tull? Did he pioneer the form?
No, he has nothing to do with
Who did?
metal. I'd have to think about that more intensely because I'm just about to start reading you these lyrics. So, meanwhile, back in the year one, when you belonged to no one, you didn't stand a chance, son, if your pants were undone. 'Cause you were bred for humanity and sold to society. One day you'll wake up in the present day, a million generations removed from expectations of being who you really want to be, skating away, skating away, skating away on the thin ice of a new day. So as you push off from the shore, won't you turn your head once more and make your peace with everyone? For those choose to stay will live just one more day, to do the things they should have done as you cross the wilderness, spinning in your emptiness. If you have it to pay, if you have it to pray, looking for a sign, for that universal mind has written you into the passion play. Skating away, skating away, skating away on thin ice of a new day. See, man, he was deep, man. Here. You can't. It's the thing is you can't visualize it because I'm just reading it. I'm not emphasizing it. And there's a whole like 5 minutes of him putting on his skates before the song actually starts. So let me just skip through some of this shit here. Hang on a second.
Testify.
Here you go. Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
Meanwhile, back in the year one, when you belonged to no one, you didn't stand a chance, son. If your pants were undone, 'cause you were bred for humanity and sold to society. One day you'll wake up in the present day, a million generations removed from expectations of being who you really want to be. Skating away, skating away, skating away on the thin ice of a new day.
So, what do you think, Bruce? Now, are you becoming more familiar with Jethro Tull's vibe? Are you feeling it? That's some good music, and it's about to kick in. See, it's about to kick into a specific rhythm, and it's about to kick in. It's nice, but I just wanted to check in with you and hey, Rusty, what's happening? I just wanted to check in with you so this way we're talking about it, and that makes it fair use. And so far, I haven't gotten any trouble, except for my fucking headphones. Nothing drives me crazier than having my headphone go in and out, in and out, in and out on one ear. Here we go.
So as you push off from the shore, won't you turn your head once more and make your peace with everyone? For those who choose to stay, who will live just one more day to do the things they should have done. And as you cross the wilderness, suspending in your emptiness, you feel you have to pray.
As you cross the wilderness, Bruce, you're suspended in your emptiness. You pushed off from the shore and turned your head once more. It's a metaphor, man. It's a metaphor. It is, though.
Jimmy.
I'm making fun of it, but it really is a metaphor, though. But here, it's about to kick in. Sorry, here you go.
Looking for a sign that the universal mind has written you into the passion play.
So you're looking for a sign that the universal mind has written you into the passion play. But you're skating away.
Skating away, skating away, skating away on the thin ice of a new day. as you cross the circle line, when the asphalt creaks behind.
Bruce is gonna go get himself some coffee. He'll be right back.
And the silver splendors fly in the corner of your eye, shining in the setting sun. Well, do you ever get the feeling that the story's too damn real and in the present tense? Or that everybody's on the stage and it seems like you're the only person sitting in the audience. Skating away, skating away, skating away on the thin ice of the new day. Skating away, skating away, skating away.
See, you remember this, Bruce? Thick as a brick.
Really don't mind if you sit this one out. My words but a whisper, your deafness a shout. I may make
His words, but a whisper.
Yeah, I'm not digging
deafness.
it like you, Jimmy.
Hey, his words are a whisper, and your deafness is a shout.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. I don't mean to be snobbish about this, but I'm really well versed in poetry, like going back 400 or 500 years, and various schools of poetry, including religious poetry from India, and then all the Western stuff like T.S. Eliot and Ezra Pound and all the classic. So basically, the same message has echoed through different echo chambers every 20 or 30 years since the beginning of the 20th century. We got it first from the poets, the modernists. They told us, man. You go and you read T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland, and he saw where we're at now. He saw it after World War I, okay? And it's just, people are just catching up with him,
Let
right?
me bring you songs from the wood.
Jesus. Sounds English.
That's another Jethro Tull fucking record. That song, see, War Child was at the end, but Songs from the Wood was at the beginning. And what Jethro Tull does is he plays a flute. He plays a flute and he sings. Go ahead.
If I want to ramp up, I go Zeppelin, man. It's Zeppelin. Zeppelin is the ultimate ramp up music. I think Led Zeppelin is the finest rock and roll ever, like pure rock and roll, like better than the Rolling Stones, better than anybody. Like Zeppelin is like in a league unto their own.
Even though
and it's a combination
combination
of exceptional people. Jimmy Page is one of the greatest guitarists of the 20th century, hands down. Any format, classical, acoustic, whatever. Jimmy Page, okay? John Bonham may very well be the greatest percussionist who has ever lived. Ask any jazz drummer, ask anybody, okay? And then you get Robert Page on vocals, the most original and operatic vocals ever in a rock band. You bring it all together, you get Led Zeppelin. And then the super freaky songwriting, man. Kashmir, I'm going to Kashmir.
Man,
Black
they
Dog,
stole
Black
fucking
Dog.
almost 90% of the songs that you even know that they did. Almost every song they had was totally fucking plagiarized. Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying from a lot of people. I'm not saying John Bonham wasn't a great drummer, because he was. But here.
See, I find the plagiarism argument hard to believe.
Oh, dude, I can prove it to
because
you.
I don't.
There's a million.
I don't think any other group of people could pull off the difficulty of that combination of music and lyrics. Who could do it? Maybe Freddie Mercury could have done the lyrics for
All
Led Zeppelin,
their
and that's about
songs were fucking stolen, dude.
I
Here,
don't know,
people
dude.
have made a million
never heard this
videos.
in my
I've
life.
done shows on it, and other people have made videos on it. Here, I typed it in. Led Zeppelin stolen songs. First video.
So as long as we're doing this,
Hold on.
I just want to get this off my chest. Robin Williams never told a joke he didn't steal from another comic.
That's probably true.
That is a true
All right.
artistic thievery story.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
So here's Babe, I'm gonna leave you.
Tell you when I'm gonna leave you. Leave you. When all summertime, summer comes a rolling.
Joan Baez.
Okay, there's one.
No, dude, you don't understand. I could sit here all night. Hang on. Hang on. I'm skipping now.
Do they credit Joan Baez with that song?
One morning fire. No, they don't credit anybody who they stole their fucking songs from. A lot of blues artists, they didn't give them a fucking penny. They got nothing. Hold on.
I took the axe down a by Blackwater side. 'Twas in gazing on
Bert Janisch. I can sit here all night, dude. Hang on. Here, listen to this one. This one will blow you away, dude. This one will blow your ass away. Listen to this.
Give me a clue as to where I am at. Feel like a mouse and you act like a cat. I'm dazed and confused, hanging on by a thread.
Hold on. That isn't even, hang on. Fuck. Stand by. I gotta move down the line here. Hang on. Let me see what this is.
Yeah. And you act like a cat.
How many more years have I got to let your dog be around?
They didn't give this guy a penny.
How many more years
He got nothing.
have I got to let your dog be around? I'd as soon rather be dead, sleeping 6 feet in the ground.
Seriously, if you go on YouTube and just type in Led Zeppelin plagiarism, you'll see all the fucking songs. There's almost every one of them, except for it gets to a point where there's like, and I think it's In Through the Outdoor. It might be present. It might be Presence, but I think In Through the Outdoor is one that was like completely all their own. Like everything on there was theirs. But the thing is like, this has been done over and over again, because the thing is, it's like, if you don't know about an artist and somebody else plays that music, the people will think that that artist made that song up. There's young people who think the Red Hot Chili Peppers wrote Higher Ground. They don't know it's a Stevie Wonder song.
Man meat, 50 cents a kilogram, Jimmy.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
Coming to it.
Bacon
coming
is
to a suburb near you.
Bacon is suspect. Just watch out. I'm telling you, stay away from it.
Long pig, Jimmy. Long pig.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
The human being is basically, in the culinary world, ladies and gentlemen, the human being is the bipedal pig. Most people would not know the difference between man meat and pork. What's going on there, Jimmy?
It's almost like I hear a wolf howling in the distance.
Oh, yeah. Where there's one, there's 12.
There's no wolves around here, but there is
Ain't no lobos.
There is coyotes, and there are mountain lions and bobcats.
I'm thinking of getting another pit bull. I joined an adoption group here in Costa Rica. A lot of rich people get this dog in the city or in a suburb, and they just realize this dog's got way too much energy for that, and they're looking for a farm. You get this dog they paid $500 for. But I don't know what the ramifications of bringing another dog in. Like, I couldn't go much older than 6 or 8 months either. But I do kind of want another one. I mean, this most amazing animal I've ever known is my boy here, Saul. See, Jimmy, over here, your animal relationship is 7/24. I'm away from my dog maybe 8 hours a month. I shit you not. Those for trips to town, okay? Dude is beside me all day, every day, or he's out on the front patio, or you don't have to walk him. He just goes off and does a little adventure every night at about 11:30 at night, goes a couple kilometers. He's got some friends on the mountain. He comes home, right? Totally natural living. My boy.
No, I don't think anybody sued anybody. When they tried to sue him, I think they didn't even win in court or something. I forget what it was. It was some shit. No one ever got jack squat though.
You watching that Dexter trial?
No.
Oh,
I don't
man,
even
dude,
know.
that is
I don't.
just-
I don't even
that-
know anything
that is
about
just-
it. I used to go to this club on Wednesday nights and see this band called
Viper Club.
Yeah, that
the Viper
club.
Club, Jimmy.
Exactly. But it wasn't the Viper
That's
Club
John-
then. Then it was called something else. And every
Johnny
Wednesday.
Depp bought that club.
I know. But I used to go there every Wednesday, and he was there every Wednesday, sitting in the back, talking to this
Did you
chick.
know Johnny?
I don't know Johnny, but I was hanging where Johnny was in the general vicinity of Johnny quite a bit. Because, like I say, he was at this club, and he'd sit in the back, which is where I would be sitting. And my friend Vanessa, who was on General Hospital, was friends with him. So I'd be over there, she'd be talking to Johnny, and then I'd be sitting over in the same area. I'd talk to her, you know.
Johnny Depp, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Depp.
He didn't say shit. He didn't say anything. He just sat there, listening to this band.
You ever see?
It was Chucky
you ever see a
Weiss.
Jim?
Chucky Weiss and the Goddamn Liars was the band that he used to go see every Wednesday night.
You ever see
was
a
called the
Jim
Central.
Jarmusch film called?
The place was called the Central. Go ahead, Jim Jarmusch. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Jim Jarmusch film called Dead Man. With
Yes.
Johnny Depp.
Yes, I have seen it.
Brilliant. Unbelievable movie, man. Unbelievable movie. Man meat, Jimmy. 50 cents a kilogram.
I'm telling you, man. What I keep hearing, it almost sounds like a foghorn or something in the distance. It might be
Are you
coming.
watching?
Might be coming from your
Are
end.
you watching? Well, there's no fog here, buddy.
No,
There's-
is
hold on a
there
sec.
dogs howling somewhere?
No, dude. There's no dogs howling here.
Because I took my headphones off to hear it. You know what's funny? Check this out. In my in my YouTubes right now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is funny because what came up in the sidebar over here. I didn't type this in. I'm just scrolling. Here, I'll fucking prove it to you. I'll put it on screen. Hang on a second. I'm gonna put this on screen. Hold on. Remove. Hang on a second. What window will that be? Plagiarism. Oh, prick. I scrolled. Anyway, there was why is John Bonham a good drummer? Why is John Bonham a great drummer? Was in the sidebar. So it's funny that it came up because we were talking about it. I didn't type in John Bonham.
That's the way it roll. It's the way I roll, Jimmy. It's the way I roll.
Mm-hmm.
Signs and wonders, buddy. Signs and wonders.
Mm-hmm.
Told that wolf pack to leave you alone. They're not going to come there no more.
Good. I hope so. One of the movies.
You know, my wife.
One of the Kilmer movies Val Kilmer's in was fucking Ghosts in the Mist or something. Ghost in the Darkness or something. It was about lions.
Yeah. Yeah, with Michael Douglas. It was brilliant.
Dude, that shit is. You don't know how I mean, watching
That's
that.
terrifying, dude. True story.
It's terrifying, all right, dude. So
yeah.
I literally had a male lion roar in my motherfucking face. And I'm just telling you, man. I mean, I can't imagine what it would be like if you were just sitting there in your little tent or whatever. You sit there in your little tent in the dark, just hearing them out there. You hear them out there just fucking roaring and shit, growling.
Yeah. So
fucking tiger.
Let's run with this, man. Let's run with this. Pass me the ball. So this has actually come up, because my son and I we want to open up a little tourism business, a little boutique business, 2 or 3 groups of clients a month, no more. Well priced, and a total adventure and totally authentic. We're going to go camp on the Quebecar Reserve, and they're in on it. Everybody's in on it. So we're getting all the details, right? My buddy Sergio was just here. He's my liaison there with the Quebecar. And then my wife was telling me the same thing, that like down where I live, which is about 5 kilometers from the reserve, we don't see many big cats here. And you're pretty okay having anything here, right? Like you can have goats, you can have anything. Go 5 kilometers in, you can't do that, right? I've heard stories of Native women leaving with their kids to walk the 5 kilometers to come to the school down in my little pueblo here, coming out of the jungle. And they're stalked by a jaguar the whole way. And if they have dogs, the jaguar takes out the dogs. Then you got to stop at a neighbor's farmhouse and regroup because there's a jaguar tracking you. And
that's
you
what
and
I'm
me,
saying, man. You get fucking.
Yeah.
If you've ever been,
dude,
like, if you've
I
ever
live in
been,
the jungle, dude. I live in the jungle.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But if you've ever been bit, like I've been bit by a fucking animal, have your whole fucking top of your arm ripped off, man. But the animal stopped coming, in my case. But the pain that you experience in that moment, and I can't imagine what it would be like, because in the moment where you're experiencing that pain, if you can't muster up enough fight in yourself to fucking fight off whatever that is, whatever it is, a pit bull, a jaguar, a fucking bear, I don't care what it is, man. Once it gets you and it starts fucking chewing you, man, and alive, that shit hurts, man. And if you're in so much pain you can't do nothing about it, that's the moment when it's just gonna chew the top of your head off like a praying mantis. And that's it.
Yeah.
Especially you got to watch out. I mean, people don't trip on it too hard, but you got to watch out for pigs, man. Those wild pigs, those fuckers will
dude,
they'll knock you down.
They got they got a pig, and it's more a little north of here, right? They have it in Mexico and Guatemala, and it's not so far down here close to the equator, but I think it's called a manzana, which is apple in Spanish, but it's a manzana pig. Not that big, but they say it's the most vicious pig God ever created, and one of the most dangerous. It's like the honey badger of pigs. And I was asking the natives one time, because I was thinking of doing a hunting expedition here with like Americans and Canadians, right? $1,500, stay at my Earthbag Lodge, and then we get up the next morning at 5:30, go out on some ATVs to the reserve and hunt a pig. So I'm talking to Ishmael and his brother, and I say, well, how dangerous is pig hunting? Has anybody ever in the tribe ever been killed? And they stop and confer for about 90 seconds in Quebecar. I don't know what they're saying. And then they come to a conclusion, and the report back I get is, no, not killed, but severely injured.
Yeah,
and these
man.
dudes are master hunters, man. They'll track a jaguar with a .22. Totally illegal to kill a jaguar here, but they're so far in the jungle. If they get a lazy jaguar that starts picking off their pigs every night and their dogs, they have to take it out, man, because you can't. There's no Ministry of Natural Resources that's come here with a helicopter and move it 300 kilometers over like a bear at the dump in cottage country north of Toronto, right? You got to kill it, right? We have a lot of cats. It's a healthy population of cats. I don't think I've ever explained this before, Jimmy, but where I live, the Talamanca Mountains, 80% of the Talamancas are still unexplored. No human being's ever been in there, dude. This is Jurassic Park shit. Okay? Every other part of Costa Rica's been fully explored. Okay? Talamancas, no. Mysterious place. Small planes go down in there like Cessnas. They never find them. Never find them. Okay? Can't find them. Even if you could get to it, like, what are you going to do? You can't drag, dude, it's pure mountainous jungle. Testify.
That's intense, man.
You get used to it, man. And then a lot of the jungle is like you live every moment in a kind of heightened state, right? Because
That's what I was
you just
saying.
come to.
That's what I was saying earlier. If you got depression or anxiety, you think it's because it's the future or the past. It's never the moment
Yeah.
you're in. And so, like,
No.
and that's what causes all the. So, like, when you're up there living by natural law, everything is natural. So you're
Yeah.
living within the flow of the environment that you're around.
Correct.
So you got a flow going over there. You get up, you do your thing. There's times when things are active and when things are relaxed and all this.
So I'm starting a big 1 kilometer, one acre food garden now. An acre is a huge garden, man. That's like, if you do it right, that's like commercial farming. You can sell 80% of what you make. But I'm getting my whole food farm done now.
Get your chickens,
right? I got
dude.
these 3.
You got chickens. You got chickens, right?
Right now I don't. My mother-in-law does.
You better
but,
get some. Man, they're saying
chickens
eggs,
are easy to come by here.
Yeah, they're saying eggs are going to be $12 a dozen. And those
Man,
are the shitty, snotty eggs.
It's an embargo on protein, Jimmy. Protein, man.
Exactamundo.
Yeah. So I don't know how people. I don't know how people are going to get through this, man. In the United States, you should see what's going on over here too, man. What I see in like on the Facebook groups, like people posting their houses for rent in Costa Rica. It's just like U.S. prices now, man. Two bedroom beach house. And not in a super great community either. It's like $1,750 US a month. Holy cow, man! Costa Rica is expensive now. Like, it's really, in the time I've been here, it's gone.
When you
wow.
start thinking about how much you're spending on gas.
Yeah.
You can go someplace and just live. I mean, there's people that live on cruise ships. They just go on cruises. And they just pay X amount of dollars for these tickets. They just fucking, that's all they do. They cruise from here to there, from here to there. Back and forth. They just live on cruise ships. Just have suitcases.
That must be expensive, though.
No, man. You buy like last minute seats when the cruise ship's not full. You get that shit for like $100, man. You can go on 7 days, eat all you want. As long as you don't buy anything, you just eat off what's there for you. There's no money. The only money is when you go down and you start fucking gambling and, buying shit. But other than that, you get out of port, you go buy something, that's what happens.
Crazy, man, crazy.
But, if
I don't think I could live on a boat.
If you wanted
I'd go crazy, man, crazy.
If you wanted to disappear, man, you just fucking get on one of those boats and then just go on a cruise and just don't come back from one of them stops. And then you just head out like they did in Terminator. The chick from Terminator. She went down to Mexico.
Yeah, man. Have you noticed that those kind of like big finale movies started around, when did they start? Like Terminator 2, I think, came out in like 91. And that was the first big apocalyptic movie, right?
Dude, I can't remember how big that was, dude. When that Terminator 2 came out with fucking Guns N' Roses song and and Arnold on that Harley.
Yeah.
And that melding fucking... Man, you think someone's just sitting around writing that shit? Of course there's a melting fucking morphing robot liquid thing. How many times have they shown that in movies? That other movie, The Abyss, where that shit comes up out of the water? You know?
Yeah. Arnold has, he's got more illegitimate than legitimate children, man.
Dude,
Man,
that
that
dude.
guy was a dog, dude. I don't think he ever had a maid he didn't impregnate.
Dude, when I lived in Venice, that dude where I lived on a walk street. And fucking
Yeah.
he owned, across the street was Gold's Gym. He owned that shit. And then he owned this other
Yeah.
restaurant called Chai. And he was up in Venice when Venice was a shithole. And he owns like fucking half of the town now. The property around there.
Oh, I'll bet he does, man.
He does.
I'll bet he does.
He does. You see him everywhere. Fucking, he used to see him fucking just driving his fucking Hummer with a cigar. Just fucking going down.
It's a good egg, man.
You're going to get some
Smoke
breakfast.
'em if you got 'em.
You go to get some breakfast, you know. I used to go to this place called the Firehouse. And it's right, like when you're coming into Venice, there's this giant clown wearing a hat and a ballerina outfit. But across the street from there is this restaurant called the Firehouse. And it's right down the street from Gold's Gym. And they serve these breakfasts there. Fucking kick-ass breakfast whenever you go there. It doesn't matter. And you can get it all the time. Because bodybuilders go in there and eat. So they have like egg white omelets and shit like that. You know, egg whites and potatoes and all this shit. So you go in there and you eat.
Testify.
Yeah, man. You go in there and eat. When, you know, you're walking across the street, going to the Firehouse. Here comes fucking Schwarzenegger, man, with fucking one of those Hummers, the top's down. He's got a big cigar.
You ever hear any of the stories about his diet back in the day when he was training? Like 3 whole chickens for lunch, that kind of shit, 2 quarts of milk. It's insane, dude. It's like feeding a horse.
I know, but see, how did it go? How did it go from that being the model for the hero of a situation, from like Schwarzenegger's, Stallone's, you know, these dudes. What's his nuts? That Swedish dude. Looks like
I don't know.
Swedish dude that looks like Lars from.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren. You know, didn't Dolph Lundgren marry Grace Slick?
Yeah, he was briefly married to her. Yeah.
No, who was? I think wasn't Stallone married to Grace Slick?
No, he married. He married that crazy Amazon chick, the blonde one there. You know how they met? She sent him a nude photo.
Oh yeah, I know the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not far from Dolph Lundgren. She's almost Dolph Lundgren, huh? In a way, she's kind of Dolph Lundgren-esque. I forget, but I mean, just think about. I just think about like how big that. I mean, how much money that movie must have made. Terminator 2 when it came out. Just because, I mean, it had that Guns N' Roses, You Could Be Mine song in it.
You got Linda Hamilton as an early example of the Valkyrie feminist, bordering on lesbian, but you know.
Yeah.
Falling in love with the mechanical man and calling him the perfect father. There was a lot of shit in that movie when you think back on it. There always is. But, you know, just suspend disbelief when you want to enjoy life, right? Can't deconstruct everything. We're not French philosophers, Jimmy.
We're not?
Not that I'm aware of.
Damn.
All right, Jimmy, let's call it a wrap, man.
All right.
We got some good material in the can there. This was a good impromptu conversation.
Nice.
It'll live on in perpetuity unless it gets taken down for copyright violation.
No, I didn't play anything. And we talked about everything I did play. We talked about everything I did play.
I was very saddened to learn about Led Zeppelin.
I'm sorry, man.
I didn't know they were thieving.
Well, I mean,
as the Irish call it, thieving. He's been thieving.
You know, they use this song to drive Noriega out of his hole.
Panama?
They played it outside over and over again with screaming rabbits. that were being killed. They were screaming rabbits.
We rode on horses
And they
made.
played this song over and over again.
He wore black and I
And people
wore
need to know
white.
that Noriega
He would
only listened
always
to
win
classical
the
music.
fight. Bang bang, he shot me down. Bang bang, I hit the ground. Bang bang, that awful sound. Bang bang, my baby shot me down. Seasons came and changed the time. When I grew up, I called him mine. He would always laugh and say, remember when we used to play? Bang, bang. I shot you down, bang, bang. You hit the ground, bang, bang. That awful sound, bang, bang. I used to shoot you down.
Oh, hold on a second. Before we go, hold on a second. Hang on a second. I found a video that I think you guys are gonna like. Hold on a second. You guys gotta see this. I found a video of Billy Ray Valentine when he was young. Hold on a second. Oh, man. Hang on. That sucks. Hang on a second. Alright, I'm still here. Alright, hold on a second. So, you guys know who Billy Ray Valentine is, right? I know you do. If you don't, if you do, you will. If you do, you'll get this. If you don't, I don't know. Hold on. Alright. I found an old video of Billy Ray Valentine when he was young. Hold on a second. Let me get this set up here for you. Alright. Hold on a second. You guys gotta see this. You'll love this, man. Make sure you let him know, man. Make sure if you talk to him, you let him know you saw the video. Alright, hold on. Alright, you guys ready? Here, check this out. Here you go. Oh, man.
Oh, baby!
There he is, right there.
Hey, come on, dude, let's hurry up, man. We gotta get inside.
When your body gets this feeling and you don't know what it is, got you moving, got you grooving, got you rapping with the pill, and you know that you are grooving cause you feel it in your soul. When the Latin tongue starts flowing cause the power takes control. It's that Latin.
Okay, here comes Billy's part. Billy's coming up. He's right there with that white hat. Check it out.
Activity.
Roll the track, step back, and let me activate a louder sound provided by Jam and James on a flex. Guess what's coming next? A dope rhyme by the DTTX on the mic to engage in a row. Pump the brown sound, we're like a connected flow just for you and your crew, so you can taste the rhythm from this Latin active race. As it takes control of your body and soul, feel the physical change, and you'll be so. You can't stop what starts to take place. Your body starts to groove to the ditty dope bass. That's what happens, as you can see. Now let the crew explain the Latin activity.
in a sickness, a Latin female dope to get with this high factor track with a lyrical concept. A brown queen note to break it down in one step. So legit, the microphone just passed it. Right to me, the one just chosen to grasp it. Just drop the mic that you were holding, cause with the lighter shade of brown, I saw I'm rolling. Latina, taking over the microphone and rocking the place with a little bit of soul and treble and bass as I rock hip hop non-stop and make you dance. I have a question. Are you still in a trap? En inglés, en español, como quieran el ritmo. Muevan sus pies y bailen al ritmo. Hacerlos bailar es mi misión y Latin Active es la canción.